Yo, YouTube, what is going on? Dino Bam Bam here, the 10-7 MMA. Happy to be back in your lives with another pre-show. We changed the title up. We're calling it Last Call now. But it's the same old pre-show that you guys have grown to know, grown to love. And we're ready to get it popping. Today, DS may or may not be joining us. He is on the road right now doing some work, but the invitation's been sent. We got a couple invitations sent out there. We'll see who joins us. You never know. You've seen how these things go. Sometimes people join us, sometimes they don't. Either way, we're ready to party tonight. UFC Mexico, Brandon Moreno, Bebe Asesino taking on Loney Kavanaugh. Dig in the chat. What up, Dig? I got to go out right now, but I just wanted to say Tom Aspinall mogs John Jones, and then he throws in a little Union Jack. They call that a Union Jack, guys. Yeah, type shit. WMC type shit. Tom Aspinall does not mog John Jones. Tom Aspinall can barely mog his eye doctor. Tom Aspinall cannot see right now, and it looks like Alex Pereira may be the new king of the heavyweight division. Obviously, news came out late last night here in the States, very early morning for you folks out there in Europe. Tom Aspinall has vacated, Alex Pereira has vacated the title. Friend of the channel follows us on Instagram, as should you. Yuri Prohashka getting the title shot. So, you know, we're super goddamn excited for that here at D107 MMA. And it looks like Tom Aspinall is no longer going to be the UFC heavyweight champion. It looks like they may make him vacate or potentially strip him. We'll see what the relationship's looking like. I feel like it's strained. But yeah, huge news. And we're waiting on Dana to let us know what's up for the White House. My anticipation is a Alex Pereira title fight. Now, whether that is Tom Aspinall or Cyril Gane or potentially even John Jones is yet to be seen. Rumors are saying it's fucking John Jones, guys. I don't know. I said that last night. DS said I was crazy. We'll see what's going on, man. I do believe John Jones is probably going to get that title shot. That's going to piss a lot of people off. But, yeah, we'll see. Dig says interim to wait for the GOAT to return. Yeah, John Jones may or may not return, if that's what you're talking about. You know? No, you're talking about Aspinall, obviously. Look, man, I don't think Tom Aspinall wants to be here anymore, Digger. I think he's trying to go the boxing route, right? His dad made it pretty clear last time out. Yeah, I know you meant Tom. I think his dad wants him to go box. I think he wants to go box. I think they see the money there. The problem with the UFC is, in Tom Aspinall's eyes, right? Let's say Tom Aspinall loses the title, which obviously, you know, he is the best heavyweight on the planet currently. I agree with that. But if he loses that title, it is heavyweight. Anything can happen. If he loses that strap, boxing becomes significantly less lucrative, right? You're not going to get yourself a Tyson Fury and Usyk, Anthony Joshua. You're not going to get those title fights. You're not going to get those kind of fights if you're not the UFC champion and your purse goes down by millions, right? So that's a huge fucking problem for Tom Aspinall. I really do believe that Cyril Gane was going to beat him that night. I picked Tom Aspinall, and what I mean by that is I think Tom Aspinall, obviously he was losing that first round, but Cyril Gane looked really goddamn good. Tom Aspinall looked like he was fading. Again, he could have caught Cyril Gane and clipped him early in that second round and changed the entire fight. We don't know, but it looked like it was heading that way. Now, in a rematch, I probably picked Tom Aspinall to win that fight. I would pick him to win that fight 8 out of 10 times, but again, it's heavyweight and you don't know, and every time you get in there, it's super goddamn risky. Eddie Hearn could make him huge, to be fair. It'd be smart business-wise. They have connections already. Fuck yeah. I mean, look, if you have the Eddie Hearn connection, you know, by all means, right? If I was in his position, I would be doing the same shit. I would rather be boxing than be in the UFC. Less dangerous of a sport, I was going to say. I don't know how true that is. We've seen a lot of people pass away in the boxing ring. You don't see that, you know, very often in MMA. But yeah, that's where the fucking money is. Why get paid $2 to $3 million to fight in the UFC when you can get a one-time lump sum like $15-20 million to box somebody? I would do the same shit. Punisher in the chat, yo, 10-7. Digger, he is saying, yo, what up to you? What up, Punisher? How are you, brother? I'm super excited, guys, about not really this card, to be honest with you. This card I'm not too excited about, but for what Dana announced yesterday, even though we knew that shit was coming out, we knew Yuri and Ulberg was happening months ago. We predicted it. You guys all fucking knew what was going on. But regardless, man, as a Yuri Prohashka fan, again, like, I'm over the fucking moon, guys. NTRD MMA in the chat. NTRD, what up? If Tom gives up MMA, his UFC title, to box Eddie Hearn, Dana might actually hang himself. Maybe. maybe, right? But Dana might be fucking throw. See, I would say Dana's going to throw money Tom Aspinall's way, but Dana doesn't play ball like that, right? He was willing to do it for Conor Benn because that was him taking somebody away from someone. But if it's somebody trying to leave Dana and leveraging that, I feel like Dana would do everything in his power to fuck him over. So, yeah. All right, Dig, take care, brother. You got a dip? See, come around. We'll be here for a couple hours. Punisher, to be honest, I'm not that excited for this card. I can't wait for the BMF card and the Yuri card. And then he says, bye to you, Dig. Look, Punisher, next week, man, if you're not excited for Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway, you're not a fucking MMA fan, right? Let's be serious. Those are two legends of the game. Max Holloway's been on an absolute tear since he moved up to 155. Charles Oliveira is fucking Charles Oliveira, guys. Do Bronx is one of the biggest stars in the entire sport. If you're not excited for that fight, then you're not excited about this sport. However, that card, to be fair, right? We be fair over here. That's what we be doing. That's bullshit, guys. That fucking card absolutely blows, but they are giving us a banger card in Miami. Again, not to harp on the Yuri thing, but I just looked at that card before hopping on this live, and my God, that's a fucking banger. The second fight of the night, I know it's a female fight, but it's Tatiana Suarez versus Lupi Godinez. Number 2 versus 6 is the second early prelim. That card's absolutely stacked. Kevin Holland's on the fucking pre-show. It's crazy. What up, Zapper? How you doing, brother? Bromo was supposed to join us, Zapper, but he's doing a little sleepover with his daughter. So I hope they're having fun and having a blast. But next week he has promised me he will be here for the pre-show. So next week at this time, guys, you will catch your boy No Bromo here. The Oliveira card is ass, to be honest. Only 2 to 3 fights on it, right? And that's the fucking problem, right? That card's it's a one fight card to me. I don't like the co-main. I don't like anything about that card. We'll go over it in a couple minutes here. Zapper says Moreno's going to win a depressing 49-46. No one's going to remember this. Yeah, I got Brandon Moreno winning as well. I think I actually have him winning by finish late in this fight. I just don't think Loney Kavanaugh's cardio is going to hold up for him, guys, right? Like, we saw him fade last time out against Charles Johnson. Like, he looked so goddamn good, Kavanaugh did, early in that fight. And shout out CJ, friend of the channel, of course. But he looked so goddamn good early in that fight. He was kind of beating CJ's ass. And then there was a moment where I was watching it on TV, and I was like, my God, like, it was like a switch, it just flipped on him. And I was like, this kid's fucking exhausted. And then 30, 40 seconds later, CJ puts him out. We talked to Charles Johnson after that fight, and I was like, man, I noticed this on TV. Did you see that? And he's like, yeah, of course, that I saw that, and I went for it. So if his cardio failed him, and it could have been several things. It could have been a bad camp, bad weight cut. It could have been a staph, some sort of illness. He could have had the flu, like whatever the fuck the case was, but his cardio did fade. His cardio faded in round 2. How does that look at altitude in Mexico against Brandon Moreno, a guy that's been fighting 5-rounders for the last, 5 years or so, right? Brandon Moreno is going to be more used to the altitude. Brandon Moreno has way more 5-round experience. I don't know that Loney Kavanaugh has any 5-round experience. Brandon Moreno is going to win this fight, guys. It's dangerous for him early, but as the fight progresses, as every minute gets shaved off that clock, Brandon Moreno gets more and more comfortable. For me, right? I think he wins that fight. Again, Loney Kavanaugh doesn't deserve to be here, guys. Like, let's not mince words. I think the kid is a great prospect. We saw Ilia Topuria hyping him up. I think he's very powerful. I think he's very sharp. I think he's really goddamn athletic. This is just a quick jump up. He's taking this fight on short notice against a top world-class guy. I don't love it. Let's see what NTRD or the Punisher's talking about. Loney is ass. Energy slept him. Shout out Energy. NTRD says there's a lot of fun overlooked fights tonight. Maybe not the highest level, but definitely fun. Would definitely highly encourage you to tune in. Expecting a lot of finishes tonight. Yeah. Anytime you get these themed cards, right? And what I mean by a themed card is like when the UFC goes to another country that's not America, right? They go to Mexico, they stack the card with Mexican fighters. Australia, same shit. They go to Dubai in the Middle East, and it's full of Dagestanis and fucking whatnot. They stack the card in a certain way to where those fighters are expected to win the majority of fights, right? So I do expect that here again tonight, but I feel like the matchmaking tonight has been pretty goddamn bad for this card. Lots of fucking massive favorites. I know Francis Marshall, who's not fighting a Mexican fighter, is like a minus 700. Crazy fucking odds. 100% watching it, not excited for it, if you know what I mean. And then Zapper says actually 4th round, actually 3rd round. Isaiah John, Fire setup, not gonna lie. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you for joining in. We try, brother. But yeah, so look, I expect Brandon Moreno to beat Loney Kavanaugh. I don't think Loney Kavanaugh deserves this spot. I think it's too much too fast. Now, for those of you that don't know, Brandon Moreno was supposed to face off against Asu Almabayev tonight. Asu Almabayev did Asu Almabayev things and ended up pulling out of the fight. And they were looking for a short notice replacement. Friend of the channel, Energy, Charles Johnson, was offered that fight, guys. He accepted the fight against Brandon Moreno. The UFC offered it. He accepted. He went out there, and they did not clear him after his physical. Of course, he was knocked out last time out. Kind of a fucking brutal situation for Energy, who's been one of the guys in the UFC that, like, to me, he's the most underappreciated fighter in all of the UFC, right? He goes out there, he fights 3, 4, 5 times a year. He gets massive wins. Yes, he loses a couple of fights that he shouldn't, but beat Loney Kavanaugh. He's the only man in the UFC to defeat Josh Van up until this point, and they never really give him that push. I was so goddamn happy when Asu Almabayev pulled out, and I found out that CJ was offered the fight, and fucking heartbroken when I found out he couldn't fight. Either way, it is what it is. UFC 327 is the card I'm very excited for after 320. Like, get it. Punisher says, just notice the Bellator gloves behind you. Who has signed them? The Bellator gloves right here, brother. That is the king of KO, Patricky Pitbull. Shout out Patricky Pitbull. He's got a fight coming up in Ryzen next week. Yeah, I want to say it's next week. He's like deep in training camp right now. Speaking of those huge favorites, there's some good value on Chris Moutinho. Quinones cannot grapple for shit. Look, NTRD, man, I fucking love Chris Moutinho, man. I was at his UFC debut, UFC 264 against Sean O'Malley. And obviously, like everyone found out that night, this kid's tough as fuck. We all had bets on Sean O'Malley by finish, and it didn't look like it was going that way. Herb Dean with the weird stoppage. Chris Moutinho is a tough-ass kid, man. Like, that kid can take a whooping unless you put him out cold like what's his face did? The Malcolm Wellmaker, right? Like, Chris Moutinho can take an ass whooping, man, but that's what he's here to be, bro. He's a punching bag. He's not like, I don't think there's any fucking skill in Chris Moutinho. He's like just not good enough to win in the UFC, but like good enough to dominate outside. He's a weird case. Plus 500 is way too skewed of a line. Sure, if you think there's fucking value there, brother, slam it. It might be worth a sprinkle. I agree with you. I just can't like comfortably pick it. Did you pick him, NTRD? Did you fucking pick him in our little creator challenge? By the way, guys, go follow this dude on Instagram, NTRD MMA. He runs the creator challenge where, we do all our official picks and all that shit. Last season, we were in first place the entire fucking time. And then the last pay-per-view ended up putting us in second for that quarter. Had a rough start to this year, but hey, we're right there. We're 1 point off the first page, baby. So we're getting it. Punisher says Patricky is so good, man. Patricky is a fucking legend, as is Patricio Pitbull. I will tell you guys, Patricky Pitbull, to me, man, of all the people I've met in this, all these years of following MMA and doing this and linking up with fighters and coaches and all that shit, Patricky Pitbull is the fucking nicest human being I've met in the entire sport of MMA. That guy is a fucking legend. That guy is a boss. He's such a good dude. Anytime I call him, FaceTime him, he picks up. If not, he calls me back. He'll reach out to me once in a while just to see what's up, how I'm doing. That guy's a fucking sweetheart. Great people. Who do you have in the Evloev Murphy fight? Pretty interesting. Look, if that fight goes down, which I know a lot of people hate hearing that, but Movsar Evloev is a fucking pullout merchant. I know sometimes it hasn't been his fault, but he has more fights that have fell through in the UFC than fights that have actually went on. I think there's like 11 or 12 fights that he's missed, and then it's like 10 or 11 that he's had in the UFC. If that fight happens, I'm going Movsar Evloev, right? I just don't rate Lerone Murphy very highly. I know it sounds like I might be hating on English fighters. That's not the case. I just don't fucking rate him, guys. I mean, he's boring. He's a decision merchant. I think Aaron Pico was whooping his ass last time out at UFC 319 in Chicago, which we were at, by the way. I don't know, like that kid, maybe he is blessed, right? Lerone the Miracle Murphy, he's been shot 3 times and survived. Maybe he's blessed. Maybe he's lucky. I just don't think he's that good of a fighter, man. I'll be honest with you. And Movsar Evloev, for what it's worth, is a fucking really good grappler. I fucking picked him 10-7. Only one that's riding with him. 3 points if he wins. So that's crazy. Putting your destiny on fucking Chris Matinho's shoulders is absolutely wild. Isaiah John, what coaches have you met, bro? Like a lot, man, a lot. We're good friends with Captain Eric. We're good friends with Jason Stroud over at Killcliff MMA. Those are two guys that we're like really close with. There's a bunch, man. Justin Janes coaches over at Extreme Couture. We're cool with him. There's a bunch, man. Eric Nixick, I've met a few times. He's a good dude. Who else? What's his name? Fucking Justin Gaethje's guy. He used to be Kamaru Usman and Rose Namajunas' dude. He's promised us an interview at some point. Forget his name, but yeah, we've met a bunch of them, dude. We got a couple of nice connections here. Not trying to toot our own horn. Zapper says Murphy got this. I don't buy it, Zapper. I'm sorry, man. I know you want your Brits to win. He's not the one. He's just not good. Let's say he beats Movsar Evloev. He's not fucking beating Volk. Let's be serious. Let's be serious. I still remember the knee bar Diego locked on Evloev. That shit was crazy. Yes, Trevor Whitman is the name. Thank you, NTRD. I appreciate you. Polino Cruz. No, I have not met Polino Cruz. I've seen him like in passing, but I've never formally met him. What was funny though is one time I was in an elevator with Alex Pereira, and once we hopped out of the elevator, Polino Cruz was there. Pereira was looked like he was in a hurry. He was going to do some Nina drama content. So I didn't get to talk to them very much, but very funny exchange that we had in the elevator. Bro, he was on 3 weeks notice and started to outstrike Pico. The reason the KO happened is because Pico realized he wasn't going to get in close since Murphy's teep was working. Bro, I'm not British. I love Murphy for literally no reason. Okay, I just assumed you were British because you fuck with Bromo and you came from his community. Look, I don't think that was the case. I really don't, man. Again, I haven't ever went back and rewatched the fight. And as you guys know, there's a difference between, being there and watching a fight live and seeing it on TV. You can see it more clearly on TV. To me, what it looked like was Aaron Pico was putting pressure on Lerone Murphy. It looked like he had him hurt early on in that fight. And then it looked like Aaron Pico went out and try to get himself a spectacular finish. You have to realize again, this is all my perception of what was going on. In Aaron Pico's mind, he was talking about Volkanovski already. He wanted the title shot. Then you look at what happened with all these Bellator guys coming over, right? Patricio Pitbull, shitty performance his first time out. Patchy Mix was like the talk of the fucking town. Everyone was talking shit about him. And then people were talking about even Mike Chandler. He had come early and he's made a splash, but he's been fucking terrible. Aaron Pico came out there and he was like, I need to prove that I'm better than those guys, that I'm not those guys. I am this fucking level. I'm not like a Bellator loser, this and that. So he wanted to have a spectacular finish. He thought Lerone Murphy was the right guy to do it against. He went out there. He was fucking doing well. And then he rushed it and got clipped, man. It was a nasty finish. Shout out to Lerone Murphy for that. But yeah, I will rewatch the fight, Zapper. I promise you I'll rewatch that. But yeah. Let's see. Vex, Punisher in the chat, Dig in the chat, and basically just Bromo's community. Shout out Bromo's community. By the way, shout out Bromo in general. No Bromo last night, guys. If you don't know, yesterday, last night, whatever you want to call it, time zone difference, streamed for 9 fucking hours, waiting for Dana White's announcement, which we already knew what the announcement was going to be. Nothing surprised us. It was just nice to get something official. And yeah, shout out fucking No Bromo. Great dude, great community. Awesome, just an awesome guy, man. He's really putting in some fucking work. I'm so happy to see him and Wyatt from Fight Society doing well. Those are two guys that I linked up with towards the end of last year, man. And the amount that they've grown is so amazing. I'm so happy for those guys. They're putting in a lot of work. And yeah, just awesome. In Bromo's Discord, hell yeah, I invited 10-7 in there too. You did, and I'm in there now. Now I'm in there. And soon, I already created my own Discord, guys, by the way. We're just not making that public yet. But yeah, we're getting that going there. Do me a favor, guys. Hit the like. Get some more fucking people in here. I need a post on Instagram, by the way. Give me 1 second. Let me post on Instagram that we are live so people know. Got to let the people know. The people pay, right? People pay the pay-per-view, shit like that. Let's see. One of these. What's up, chat? All right. Posted that on Instagram. Let's get it. Vex. Hey guys, hot take. I think David Martinez might TKO Cheeto in the third. Yeah, I think he's going to. He might be, dude. He might be the first fucking guy to knock out Cheeto Vera. It's very possible. A lot of people don't fucking like David Martinez. I think David Martinez is really goddamn good, guys. I don't like his fight style. He's very like tippy tappy and he's super goddamn fast and gets out of there. Like, I know it sounds shitty. It's a very smart way to fight. It's a really goddamn good approach to fighting. But my goodness, like he can't be hit. He can't be hit. He does what like Yusuf Zalal wishes he could fucking do. And that guy's nasty. Octagon guy, yo, what's good? Yo, what's good to you, brother? Mention me in it. I'll repost. I got you, NTRD. I'm about to do that right now. I got to add a mention now. NTRD. Boom. I just mentioned you in that story, NTRD. Let's see. Oh, by the way, this again. Did you check the Matt Hughes book yet? I have not, brother. I know, and I have it written down. I wrote it down last time. I will. I've just been so busy this week, bro. You wouldn't believe how fucking busy I've been. Hell yeah. Czechia power. Let's go for that. Let's go for war. I'm fucking excited, guys. Vex says David Martinez is my favorite prospect. Damn. And I'm not slandering him, Vex. I think as a prospect, I think super highly of this guy. I just don't necessarily like the fight style, or maybe it's been because he's been fighting people I like. As a fighter, though, I respect the fuck out of him, and I do think he's really, really goddamn like he's a prospect to watch out for. I never watched the Martinez fight. Is he a based range cucker who just doesn't let you in the pocket? See, like that's a little too simple, but essentially, but he's like the fucking peak of that, right? Like he is at the pinnacle of that. He's so goddamn good with it. He's fast. Like he is lightning fast, man. He's dangerous. He's got power. He does not let you get, he does not let you get close. Shit like that. But fuck, he's good, man. He is really goddamn good. Oh, by the way, 10-7, if you need a Discord mod, just ask. I got experience and I'm a dropout, so I got a lot of time. Hey, let's go. Vex, I will invite you in there. Before I like open it to the public, brother, I'll send you the invite. We'll get some shit set up if you want to help us out. Isaiah John, love Bromo and all the Bromosexuals. Shout out the Bromosexuals, guys. Shout them out. Great fucking community. Chill, I'm about to get my sip on. Need to hit the store for a new vape. Octagon guy, where are you from? Where are you from? Because if you're trying to get your sip on in America, it's like $2.45, brother. I'm still getting my sip on my coffee right now. I haven't even finished my first coffee. It's like ice cold now. Zapper, he's got a great knee KO in the UFC. He does. Look it up. Yeah, man. David Martinez is legit, guys. I like Cheeto Vera a lot, right? So this has been the problem with this guy, with David Martinez, is like he's just beating up fucking fighters I like, right? This time it looks like it's probably going to be Cheeto Vera. Last time it was Rob Font. The time before that, Simon Oliveira. Like I usually root for the Brazilians over the Mexicans, to be honest with you guys. I'm more of like a Brazilian stan than anything. But yeah, fuck. Like if he knocks out Cheeto, that's gonna bother me. There was a time I hated Cheeto Vera, by the way. We'll get into that at some point. But Vex says I had 1 coffee, 2 energy drinks so far today. But Vex, you're in the Czech Republic, right? You're in the Czech Republic. It's late for you guys, so that's normal out there. That's absolutely normal out there. Cheeto is good. Octagon guy says Canada 3:45 here, so he's on the East Coast. He's on the Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, that's fine. You can start sipping. It's like it's 4 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? That's what I'm saying. You're good to start drinking. I might have a couple of drinks, but I think I'm gonna wait till the main card. Probably wait till the main card. That's usually my road. Yeah, of course. It's almost 10 p.m. Yeah, you're fine. Vex, you can do anything. You can fucking smoke, drink, whatever the fuck you want to do at 10 p.m., brother. You can do it. Cheers, brother, says Octagon guy. Cheers, brother. I'll have some coffee with you. And I will hit my vape as well. My boy, Simon Oliveira, follows me randomly, DMs every so often. Was sad to see him get KO'd that bad after 26 months off. I'm saying, right? I don't know. I kind of like Simon Oliveira, NTRD. Like, again, I fuck with most of the Brazilians. There's a few I don't like. Again, hot take. I fucking really, really don't like Gene Silva. Fuck that guy. But that's another story. At 15, good idea, LMFAO. Yeah, I mean, you're a teen, my dog. Hey, brother, I've been to Europe. I've been to Europe a bunch of times. The drinking age is not like a legal thing. It's more of like a suggestion. Y'all motherfuckers be drinking at like 12. You guys smoke cigarettes at like 6 years old. Get the fuck out of here. Don't start with that shit, Vex. Especially in Czechia, like that fucking side of Europe. Stop it. Stop it. You guys are smoking cigarettes at like 8 years old. It's absolutely fucking wild out there. Don't play me like that. I seen pictures of Yuri Prohashka at like 14. Dude's a grown ass man drinking beer and shit. Hey, making me jealous, bro. I need to go out and grab a Nick vape. Got the Yart already. Just need the buzz machine. What flavor? What flavor vapes do you get? Not the Yardy, but the vapes. What flavor we getting? Oh yeah, it's a suggestion. Most people quit at 15 here, Elway. But I'm very against alcohol and drugs. Good, terrible fucking things to do. I'm very against drugs. Very. When it comes to alcohol, I can't lie to you. I enjoy alcohol, but I'm against it. I think it's a fucking terrible thing. It only does bad. It only does negative. And we try to be positive here in this community. We don't like that kind of shit, okay? I bet Vex drinks 5 beers per 3 hours or some shit. Right, bro? Europe is crazy. Europe does not play, dude. Everything we do, they do significantly younger. So I don't take that shit. Like I don't play that with Europe. Like don't lie to me. They're drinking coffee. Like their kids drink coffee. You know what I mean? Come on now. Come on. And Vex knows it's true because all he could say is LOL. They're drinking coffee at like 6 years old. They're smoking. I've seen kids in Europe smoking cigarettes. I've seen it. You don't see that in America, right? If you do, it's like in an alley. And that shit don't happen anymore either. Peach, mango, or cherry, and nothing with ice in it. In the name, they freeze my face. So you're not like a menthol guy. You're more of just like let me get like a nice flavor, get a little bit of a nicotine buzz. I'll fuck with that. By the way, fun fact, Czechia got only 10 million people, but we consume the most beer in the world. Yeah, and shout out Pilsner Urkel, I believe it's called. Urkel, Pilsner Urkel, whatever. That shit's fucking fire. That's a Czech beer. It's really goddamn good. Yeah, it's fucking delicious. And Czechia, yeah, bro, Czechia is awesome. Czechia looks like a dope-ass country. What's wrong with coffee? I was drinking coffee when I was 3-4. Brother, nothing's wrong with coffee. I'm drinking coffee right now. I love this shit. I drink 3 or 4 coffees a day. I'm just saying, like, you shouldn't have it as a child, right? It stunts your growth. It's like, that's what they say. Who the fuck knows? Octagon guy says W. Pilsen mentioned. Raw. Hey, yeah. Is that what you guys call it? Pilsen? That's a Pilsner, I'm assuming, is what the fuck that means, right? What about Germany, dog? Don't they chug it too? They do. They be chugging. I never been to Germany. Caffeine, not a good idea for kids. Exactly. Not as much as the U.S. Not as much what as the U.S. Beer you're talking about? He almost got the N. I'm impressed. Hey, look, Vex, brother, I'm cultured. I be speaking languages, dog. Like I speak, I'm fluently bilingual. But there was a time in my life where I was trilingual. I spoke some Swedish. So, but I understand a little, like I understand a good amount of Arabic. I understand a decent amount of Spanish, even Portuguese from watching the fucking UFC, from watching MMA. I understand like a good amount. So I be knowing languages, brother. I know the letters. And shout out DS, who does the channel with me. He's Bosnian. So they speak, languages with all sorts of shit on top of their fucking letters. Shout out David Dvorak with all the Czech Republic talk. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Shout out David Dvorak. Bud Light on top. I'm a Dustin Poirier fanboy. Shout out Dustin Poirier. Shout out Bud Light, I guess. I would say I'm more of a Coors Light than a Bud Light guy. But to each their own. To each their own. I don't know how the fuck we're talking about beer, guys. To me, it's so early. I slept in. I've been up for a couple hours, and it's like I still got that morning grogginess. And we're supposed to be talking UFC. We're talking about fucking David Dvorak and Pilsner and Dustin Poirier and beer and cigarettes and shit. We got to talk some MMA, guys. We're losing hype around here. What do you guys want to talk about? Find me a fight. Let's talk about it. Anyone you're excited to see on this card? Anyone you're disappointed not seeing on this card? I think it's kind of crazy that they don't have Raul Rosas Jr. on this goddamn card. Vex says, I'm going to open my 4th energy drink, heart attack incoming, but I don't care. Brother, energy drinks, I don't know how the fuck you guys drink those. I feel like 2 sips, and maybe it's like maybe I'm just panicking about it. I feel like I take 2 sips and I'm like super goddamn uncomfortable. Punisher says it's basically midnight for Punisher. That's good. I'm really excited for David Martinez. I think he's future top 3 easy. Yeah, man. I hate saying it, but I do. Again, I did say it earlier this week. I think David Martinez is a fucking legitimate contender. That guy is scary. That guy is fast. He has power. He's been training martial arts since he was like a fucking child. He's so sharp on the feet. He's got some good grappling. Dude's super goddamn legit. Rosas Jr. might end up being a huge nothing burger. We'll see, man. That's yet to be seen. Again, a lot of talent behind Raul Rosas. And he's still so young, guys. He's still so goddamn young. Javier Reyes versus Douglas Silva, de Andrade. What are your thoughts on that one? To me, the most 50-50 fight of the night. And that's why NTRD, I ended up picking Douglas Silva, de Andrade, right? To me, that was like, the odds were so fucked up on that fight, right? And I'm pulling up DraftKings here to see what the live odds are on that. But it's like, it's a newcomer versus a guy that is so experienced in the UFC that, like, it just doesn't make sense to me why the odds are what they are, right? And generally speaking, when you see that, Vegas is right more often than not. But the odds just didn't make sense. Like, plus 200 for Douglas Silva de Andrade versus like a guy with not too much experience, man. So that's why we rolled with it. I believe I picked Douglas Silva de Andrade. I think DS may have picked him as well. And then as like a combined thing for the pick challenge thing that you do, we ended up picking Douglas Silva de Andrade. One thing, NTRD, I'm glad that I got you on here so I can break down you what's happening. When we do the official picks, right? So me and DS will do the show, we'll do the live streams. We both have our own picks. We both have our official predictions that we do separately. Then when we do the 10-7 picks for your challenge, we have to come in there and agree on the fights that we disagreed on. So all the ones we agreed on, those are locked in. Then there's like the 3, 4, 5 fights of the night that we disagree on. And me and him have to like sit there and fucking talk to each other and make a choice. Like try to convince the other person why we're right to make the official 10-7 pick. So that's why it takes so long, brother. And I apologize that we sent it so goddamn late. So I hope that's fine, but we'll try to do it earlier for you. Let's talk about Fedor versus Crow Cop. One of the first fights I ever watched that had me in a grip. Okay, shout out Fedor Emelianenko. He gave me a fist pound one time. Like I was at a Vadim Nemkov fight, sitting cage side. Like we had unfucking believable seats. And, you know, I dapped up Vadim Nemkov, and then, like, I dapped up Fedor, and he just started staring at me. Now, I'm not saying, like, he knew me. I wasn't even doing MMA at that, like, MMA YouTube or anything at that time. But he just, like, stared through me and then walked by and then turned around and did, like, a double take and stared through. I was like, what the fuck did I do to this guy? I was shook. Absolutely shook. And shout out Crow Cop, absolute legend. Anytime I think of Crow Cop, I think of the checkers, like the Croatian checkers, which makes me think the World Cup is coming soon, guys. I'm excited for that. 11 o'clock here, says Zapper. Prime for prime, John Jones, Ngannou, Kane, and Fedor. Who walks out? John Jones walks out of that room, brother. I know you may not like it. John Jones walks out of the fucking room. Raul ain't improving, in my opinion, though. Like, if you look at Talbot or Nickel, they improve at a big rate or a big pace, and Raul doesn't. I don't know that we know that, man. Like, he's still younger than them, right? Like, Bo Nickel's like 29. Bo Nickel's pretty old, so he should be approaching his fucking peak. Peyton Talbot. Let me check up Peyton Talbot's age. Peyton Talbot's 27. Raul Rosas Jr. age. He's 21. He's fucking 21, guys. Wait till he's 24. You know what I mean? Like, he was in the UFC as a baby, man. Growing up in the UFC is a tough fucking thing to do. Man, I only watch niche MMA YouTubers. The biggest one I watch is Flying Squirrel. Shout out Flying Squirrel. Brother, we're niche for right now, Vex. We ain't finna be niche for too long. You got my fucking word on it. So hop on and enjoy the fucking ride, because 2026, rocket ship. I'm telling you. You're all good. Don't sweat it. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Nah, he said John. Brother, John Jones walks out of that room. Anyone in history versus John Jones. It's John Jones in his prime. Like, he's the best fighter of all time, right? Here's the way I see it. You can go back and wipe out, like when I say all time, go back and wipe out everyone from fucking over 100 years ago. Those guys would not be able to do this shit because they don't have the training that these guys have. They don't have the sports medicine that these guys had, the picograms, all that kind of shit, right? So those guys get their ass whooped by all the fucking people today. The trained fighters of today, guys, like, they know jujitsu, they know boxing, they know wrestling, they know everything. Those guys didn't have that shit. So John Jones is literally, like, he really is the best fighter of all time. Like, he knows everything, and he would beat the fuck out of everyone in history. I'm sorry, right? I'm not casual maxing. I'm not casual maxing at all. Stop the fucking cap. John Jones is the best fighter of all time. I'm sorry to tell you. John definitely went to the island. Maybe, but that's not what I'm here defending John Jones for, right? I'm not saying what he's done is right. I don't like the shit with his fucking wife and his kids being there in Vegas and the fucking drunk driving and the hit and run and even the fucking picograms. Like, look, I get it. I get it, guys. I understand the John Jones hate. I'm not stupid. I don't support any of that shit, right? There's the fucking gay allegations. It is what it is. You can not like him for any one of those things, and that's completely fine. That's your call. I get it. I get it. I'm just saying, though, as a fucking fighter, he deserves respect. He is the best fucking fighter of all time. It is what it is. For your information, John was light heavyweight in his prime. Thank you, Punisher. Thank you. I didn't know that. You know, I'm glad that you fucking had to tell me that he was a light heavyweight in his prime and that he just became a heavyweight at the end. I get it, brother. I know. Those guys are actual heavyweights. Francis Ngannou got his fucking ass beat by Stipe Miocic, right? Francis Ngannou got knocked the fuck out cold by Anthony Joshua, okay? I know the weight matters, but those guys are not near the grappler that John Jones was. Kane, really good grappler, great cardio. He's getting picked apart, bro. Teeps, the kicks to the fucking knees. Cain Velasquez is getting his ass whooped. John Jones in his prime. I'm telling you. John Jones' career is consisting of fat middleweights and robberies. Bullshit. It's a shitty narrative, Vex. I apologize. It just is what it is. I see Fedor get a clean Kimura on John. Okay, that's fine. If you want to think a heavyweight whose prime was 16, 17 years ago beats the greatest fighter of all time, that's fine. I love all these guys. I love Fedor Emelianenko. I think he is amazing. He shouldn't be in anyone's top 10 currently of all time, right? I just don't think that the level of competition that he had, the level of where MMA was at, like, is not the level that it's at today. And here's where I'll fucking tell you guys I'm not casual maxing, right? I guarantee you, and I'm not trying to be this guy, I've been watching MMA forever. Like, I was into this shit. I'm old. I'll age myself right here. I'll let y'all know. I was watching the UFC in like the mid-late 2000s, right? The tough boom, I was a part of the tough boom. I remember fucking Diego Sanchez and fucking Josh Koscheck and all those fuckers. And even before that, Forrest Griffin, Stephan Bonner. Like, that's around the time that I was watching MMA. So I've seen all these people. Fedor Emelianenko was like a myth to us at that time. You wouldn't see him fight in the States. Like, I know I fuck with Fedor, but it just wouldn't happen. Man, fuck this. Pantoja beats John. Shout out Pantoja. Shout out Alexandre Pantoja. I'm definitely blinded by hate a little bit, but come on now. First of all, he can't be considered the GOAT in my book because he popped. But genuinely, if you look at his resume, it's not that good, man. I disagree with the second part. I think the first part, Vex, that's your prerogative, brother. Like, you can choose what disqualifies you or qualifies you for a GOAT list. That's up to you. That's something that is a personal opinion, and you can choose who the fuck belongs for what reasons and whatnot. And I can't disagree with that. That's your right. But when we talk about the resume, like, John Jones gets a lot of shit about his resume. And I'm not going to pull it up right now. I was about to pull it up, but fuck it. Just going off the top of my head, right? I know it looks shitty, right? You say middleweights, then you say washed up guys. Well, he fucking beat Rashad Evans, right? Oh, he fucking beat Rampage. Those are not middleweights. Those are UFC world champions at 205 pounds. He beat Lyoto Machida, UFC champion at 205 pounds. He beat Shogun Rua, a Pride legend champion in the UFC at 205 pounds. Like, that right there is 4 light heavyweight champions. Not to mention Cyril Gane, who's a heavyweight interim champion, right? Not to mention Stipe Miocic, who at that point sure was aged and old, UFC heavyweight champion, potentially the greatest heavyweight champion in UFC history. So that's 6 off the top of my head. The fight with Alexander Gustafsson was fucking awesome. Like, John Jones's resume is awesome, guys. I'm sorry. At least you know you're biased now. You can either become more or less biased. That's fine, right? And I think we all need to fucking understand that you're going to have some bias. I think that's fair. Like, you'd be delusional to say that you don't have bias. Everyone has a little bit of bias. I try to be as unbiased as possible. I'm letting you know the shit that John Jones does outside the cage, really fucking shitty. You don't have to like him as a human being. You don't have to like him as a man. You don't have to like him as a person. You all know that when John Jones gets in that cage, he is a motherfucker. And if he's not the best for whatever your qualifications are, he's one of the best, right? So shout out Johnny Bones. Jones' resume, not as bad as haters say. It's not as good as Glazers say. Either way, he's not the GOAT. That's fine, Hustle Bones. And that might be right. The beginning portion of that may be right. Maybe it's not as bad. It's definitely not as bad as the haters say. It might not be as good as the Glazers say. DC twice. I forgot Daniel Cormier twice. Like, what are we talking about? DC, the GOATs right now and probably the GOATs right now and probably every ever meaning best fighters to ever fight on earth. I think I know what the fuck you're trying to say. John robbed Reyes. What do you think of it? Watching that fight live, Punisher, I was watching it with DS at his house. I thought while it was going on, me and him were scoring it. He disagreed with me. I had it 3-2 for John Jones live. Okay. I had it 3-2 for John Jones live, and he thought I was out of my mind. I'm like, look, DS, it's really close. They're going to give it to John Jones. When I went back and rewatched it, I'll be honest with you. I see the argument, man. Like, it's very possible that Reyes won that fight. But it was more of one of those situations where the judges are not going to give that fight. They're not going to take away John Jones's legacy and his career and everything that he's built for like a razor close decision. I think it was more of a situation of you have to go fucking take it from a guy like that. There's definitely an argument, though, that Reyes won that fight. Top Islam and Alex. Islam Makhachev popped for fucking steroids, right? So how the fuck is he on the list? You know, that's the argument that I don't get. People will say John Jones doesn't belong on the list because he popped for steroids. Islam Makhachev popped for steroids. So Islam Makhachev can't be on the list. If John Jones can't, neither can Islam. That's all I'm saying. I'm really set on the no popping, LOL. I don't even have Islam my GOAT convo because he popped also. I hear you, man, but the sport is evolving. I do think Yuri, for example, beats him prime for prime. You're saying Yuri in his prime beats John Jones in his prime at 205. Is that what you're saying? The sport is not the same as it was before. Absolutely not. Bias is very fair. It is what it is. Bias exists, man. Bro hating on Fedor's resume while glazing John beating up old. I'm not hating on Fedor's resume. Like, I'm not. I love Fedor Emelianenko. Like, literally, if you tell me, like, who's your favorite heavyweights of all time, like, Fedor is a top 3 favorite heavyweight for me of all time. I'm not hating on him. I'm just saying there's a difference, like, between. Well, I guess they were kind of in their prime at the same time, but Fedor wasn't in the fucking UFC, man. Like, it's very difficult to tell. I know a lot of those guys are UFC fighters and whatnot, but when you don't do it in the UFC, it just means a little bit less, right? I don't know how many of you guys are soccer fans, but like, if you're not fucking doing it in the Prem, if you're not doing it in La Liga, it doesn't fucking matter. And unfortunately, everything that Fedor did was not in the UFC. Not twice, gang. Second was a no contest, if I remember correctly. I don't know what you're talking about, Vex. I'm sorry. Okay, but that's how fights are scored. Your legacy has nothing to do with the criteria. That's fine. Hustle Bones. Okay. Again, I agree. I think the fight could have been scored for him, but it wasn't, right? Like, it just fucking wasn't. So, like, you got to go based off of what we see. You could say he lost that fight. You could say he lost the Gustafsson fight, which I think was also another razor close fight that I don't have a problem with you scoring for Alexander Gustafsson. But we don't go based off of, like, well, fuck, I thought he won that fight. At the end of the day, like, yes, it's a good talking point for that moment. We get to talk about it that whole next week. And before the next fight for that fighter, we say, well, he actually robbed, this fucking fighter. But when it's over, it's over. A lot of people think Volkanovski beat Islam that first time out. It's forgotten, right? The next time Islam comes out and knocks him out, it's forgotten. Nobody says Islam, like, lost to Volk. He's on a fucking 14-fight, 18-fight winning streak, whatever the fuck he's on. 10-7 is Alex versus John somehow gets booked for White House and Alex sleeps and beats John. You have to officially announce that John isn't the best dude. Look, Punisher, that's fine. Again, I'm not a John Jones glazer to the point where, like, I'm sitting here like I'm going to fucking die on that hill. What I'm saying is that you have to be fair, right? Like, we all have to take our bias out of the situation. I think in the MMA community, we have a big fucking problem with everything having to be black and white. There is a area that's fucking gray, and most things live in there. Not everything is good versus evil, left versus right versus wrong. Everything is fucking gray in life, not just MMA, but in the MMA community, since it's so goddamn toxic online. The real MMA community is not like this. The online MMA community is like this. Everyone's just like so opinionated, and they have to be right, and the other person has to fucking be wronged. And that's just what it is. Everything lies in between. It's like you hear her story, you hear his story. The truth lies somewhere in the middle. And that's just what the fuck it is. If Alex Pereira knocks out John Jones at the White House, congratulations for Alex Pereira. The storyline is, the way I think the storyline would play out is Alex Pereira then becomes arguably the greatest fighter in MMA history. And John Jones, his stock falls a little bit. He's still mentioned on the Mount Rushmore, and people will say, well, it's an old John Jones, right? He's old. He's past his prime. He was done. His hip was fucked up. The excuses will be there. I'm just letting y'all know what the truth of the matter is going to be. Jones DC head kick. The first fight got overturned to a no contest. Yeah, it did. That was for John popping. What's the pattern here, though? Jones, a lot of razor close controversial decisions. Meanwhile, Habib never bled. Okay, that's fine. Habib also left really early, right? Habib fought 3-4 opponents that meant anything. I just mentioned Daniel Cormier twice, Alexander Gustafsson twice, Rampage Jackson, Lyoto Machida, Shogun Hua. Like, Rashad Evans. There's so many fucking names that John Jones fought. And I'm not taking anything away from Habib. Undefeated, never bled, never lost around, all that shit, right? Besides the Gaethje and besides like Conor, Gaethje, and Dustin Poirier, like who the fuck has he fought? Gleison Tebow? He has like Habib's UFC. He won the belt off of Al Iaquinta. And then you look at the first half of his career, not the first half, the first 20 fights of his career, they're against fucking nobodies, man. Stop the cap, bro. Like that's the thing with Habib. He left early. Now, if Habib would have beat Charles Oliveira, he would have beat Volk, who came up to fight him at 55. Like, you know, stuck around for like 3-4 more defenses, 5 defenses. I know that sounds like a lot, but if Habib ends his career 34-0, 35-0, beats Oliveira, beats, ends up beating like, I don't know, a Beneil Dariush, Volkanovski, obviously coming up, like gets like 1 or 2 okay title defenses and then like 2 or 3 massive ones, then Habib's the GOAT of the sport. But Habib fucking left early. And that's his own fault. To be fair, I agree. Octagon Guy says, W take 10-7, W take indeed. And then here he is, the GOAT himself, guys. Johnny Bones Jones in the chat. Friend of the channel, John Jones. I'm the GOAT. Get over it. I'm saying, brother. I'm saying. And if you go check out our Instagram at the107MMA, you'll see a picture. It's in the pinned. It's the second pinned thing, or maybe the third. It's me and DS with the fucking GOAT, John Jones. Bah, we speak GOAT, baby. Vex, man, 10-7 is the GOAT of opinions. Even if he has an opinion I disagree with, he has such great arguments that it's peak. That's what I'm saying, man. And I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm not fucking smarter than anyone or anything like that. I just think that in life, people are too fucking opinionated. It's fine to have an opinion. It's right to have an opinion. It's good to defend your opinion. Just know that you may be wrong, right? There's nothing like fucked up about it. We all get shit wrong sometimes. And I just think in MMA, we're so closed-minded. Like, I think this is the case. I won't hear any argument against it. Fuck you. That's just not how the fuck it works, guys. It's very nuanced. To be fair, Habib's resume ain't that good either. Only good names are Conor, Dustin, Gaethje, maybe RDA. It is what it is. I mean, you guys know, man. Like, you guys are smarter than this, right? I think Guru has done a video. I think Wyatt from Fight Society has done a video. Go look at the deep dive. Just type deep dive career or like Habib resume or some shit like that on YouTube. And I think Fight Society and Guru have done a video on it. Those opponents meant something at his time, though. Hindsight's 2020. Are you talking about Habib Hustle Bones? Is that who we're talking about? Al Iaquinta got the title shot at a time for a reason. Just didn't age well. No, he was like fucking number 10 in the division. That like, stop it. Everyone was just like, there was a problem with like Tony was hurt and like there was a bunch of injuries going on. Conor wasn't around, and that's why fucking Al Iaquinta got it. Islam is way better than Habib resume wise. Islam might be resume wise. Islam might have the best resume of all time in the UFC. If we're just looking at a resume, it might be Islam Makhachev. He might have the best one of all time. I always admit my biases, like I think Sean O'Malley TKO's Jan in the rematch, but I'm also willing to admit that it's just my biases making me pick Sean. I don't hate the pick, man. I think Sean O'Malley has more than a puncher's chance against everyone in the division. Dude is a sniper. He's long-bodied. He's got good power. He showed that he could crack Peter Yan in the first fight. And I have to assume, I know Peter Yan leveled the fuck up since then. It's very obvious. But Sean O'Malley leveled up as well, man. He became a champion after that, defended his title after that. My point is just that Habib might have a weaker resume on paper, but in hindsight, he dominated every round. And Jones was always taken to the edge. Jones was always taken to the edge for a while. That's the thing, right? Right, Hustle Bones? There's a span of John Jones's career. The Anthony Smith fight, the Thiago Santos fight, afterwards Dominic Reyes. There was a span in his career where he started going to close decisions against fucking fighters that shouldn't even be in the cage with him, right? John Jones Glazers will say he was bored. They'll say he was bored with the competition. It wasn't exciting. John Jones will fucking say that. I think the truth of the matter is John Jones at that point in his life was probably battling fucking demons, right? That was the peak of his problems, his usage, probably problems in his family life. He probably wasn't even fucking training like that. That's my take. I know that sounds biased. I just think John Jones was he was really goddamn distracted and dealing with shit that was going on in his life. Therefore, he wasn't training as hard for those fights. He still went in there trying to fight and struggled. That's a fair take. Yeah, I'm talking about Khabib, but also just talking about the difference between on paper, in hindsight, and the context at the time. Again, the context at the time, L.I. Quinta, I don't know, man. Like, the way I remember it, L.I. Quinta was never like a holy shit, this is the fucking next guy. I think he was like number 9 or 10 when he got that title fight. And Khabib, we knew Khabib. We knew what the fuck Khabib was. We just thought it was just in grappling. Some point, somebody's going to be able to stuff the grappling. Like, if you were a Khabib hater or you wanted to see Khabib lose, your thoughts were somebody's going to be able to stuff this guy's wrestling and he's dog shit on the feet because he was super awkward on the feet. And we figured L.I. Quinta, some people figured L.I. Quinta may have a chance at stuffing the grappling. But I don't think L.I. Quinta was that highly rated at that time, nor, again, in hindsight, obviously not. But yeah, I think Sean clearly won the first fight, in my opinion. I rewatched the fight close to 30 times, no joke. And damage, most important thing, it's round 1, round 3 for Sean. Vex, watching, weird, because I'm the opposite. Watching it live, I thought Sean O'Malley won. Watching the replay, I think Peter Yan won that fight. L.I. Quinta, RDA, Gleison Tebow, etc. People were picking them to beat Khabib at the time. Yeah. Look, there's always people fucking picking people to beat people, right? Nothing's ever 100-0. Like, Khabib was the favorite. Yes, people were picking those guys, but there were reasons they were picking those guys. They were thinking L.I. Quinta may be able to stop the wrestling. RDA has fucking good jiu-jitsu. Gleison Tebow, some people think Gleison Tebow beat Khabib. Like, that's a fucking terrible take. I think that take's absolutely just awful. There it is. And Vex has to say it. I'm sorry. Sorry to do that to you. I don't think Gleison Tebow beat Khabib. I think Khabib won that fight. I think that's one of the most, like, overrated takes in this community. Like, in MMA, people say Gleison Tebow beat Khabib. I don't see it. Maybe I'll go back and rewatch that fight again, but I've seen it like 2 or 3 times. And I don't think it was like awfully close. So I don't know how the fuck people say that. He won that fight. Oh, shit. My throat's a little fucked up, guys. Yeah, either way, do me a favor, guys. Like the goddamn stream. Holy shit, what are we doing here? Let's get some thumbs up. Let's get some more engagement. Let's get some more engagement. I'm a number 1 Dagestani hater, though, so I'm blind as fuck by hate. However, I stand by that take. Look, Vex, I'm a Dagestani hater, right? People know that about it. I don't like the Dagestanis. I don't. But I try to be... Look, this might be a hot take. I think when it comes down to being, like, if I could be a judge, this is my biased take. I think I'd be the best fucking judge in all of MMA. Like, I think I see it clearly. I know what the fuck's going on. I see the intricacies. I see what's, like... I just see it. And that's a, you know, that might be super biased, and I understand that. But yeah, like, you got to take your hate out of it, man. Like, if a person wins a round, they win a fucking round. You got to give them the 10, give the other asshole a 9. Right. So those guys at the time were seen as a challenge to Khabib, but now in hindsight, people say those guys are trash and always were trash. That's my point. Yes, I agree. Like, but again, some people think those guys were challenges, right? Like, here, let's go look up the odds. Khabib versus Iaquinta odds. Khabib was minus 700, right? So going out there, like, you're already making a super fucking bold statement if you were like, Iaquinta is going to win this fight, right? So let's look at Gleison Tebow odds. Khabib was an underdog. So that's fucking wrong. That's really shitty. But again, like, the Iaquinta one, minus 700. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're picking Iaquinta to beat Khabib, like, you're going out on a fucking limb. You're going out on a limb. But whatever. I fucking hate GOAT convos. Yeah, they're shitty convos because it never goes anywhere. I agree with you. Brother, no hate, brother. Only love, brother. As Islam would say, brother. My hottest take is to stop scoring control time. Only count the ground and pound and shit. But if you lay on someone and the person is doing more... Wait, hold on. I'm going to read it over here. But if you only lay on someone, but the person is doing more from below, you should win like Volkov against Almeida. Yeah. Control time's a weird one. Merab, right? Let's talk about Merab then, if we're going to talk about this. Merab Dvalishvili made a living, made a fucking career off of not control time, right? Because Merab is like a constant takedown guy. He lets people get up, takes them down again. That's like his whole shtick. He doesn't really hold people down very well. But lately, this last stretch of fights for Merab Dvalishvili started doing a lot of work up against the cage, the knees to the thigh, right? That became like a very famous, popular thing that people would hate on Merab for. I agree, man, but Merab was doing it in a way where it was consistent takedowns, so the action is changing. He's not just holding them there. Knees to the body, knees to the thigh. I think if you're doing that and you're constantly switching positions, that's fine. Holding, maybe we gotta like get these referees to break them up quicker. I agree with you. I think if anything is going to kill the growth of this sport, it is going to be like boring grapplers, boring wrestlers. A lot of people gave Hamzat Chimaev shit, guys, for what he did at 319. People gave Islam shit for what he did against Jack Della Maddalena. They gave Valentina Shevchenko shit for what she did against Wei Li. Normally, those guys are not boring, but it looks like that's the new wave, right? Like, fuck it. Why would I risk anything when I could win fights just doing this fucking nonsense? Control time is a lower tier in the criteria. It is, right? It's damage-based scoring, right? Control time comes in after effective striking and grappling and damage. So it's like the fourth or fifth thing. Yes, but Merab is doing something. That's the thing I'm fine with Merab. Shout out Merab Dvalishvili. Please allow knees to grounded opponents. That would be peak. They do in Asia, right? I know in Ryzen, I think they still do in Ryzen. I haven't watched the Ryzen show in a while. I will be next week. Shout out Patricky Pitbull. But yeah, like I know they did in One. I know they did in Ryzen. Obviously, like Pride back in the day. In Asia, I believe it's still allowed. So, yeah, either way. Effective striking, grappling, then aggression, then control. Then I believe it goes to, like octagon control, right? Is the last criteria. So we got it all there. I read the rules one time, Hustle Bones. Like I literally sat there and read the fucking rule book, and striking and grappling are supposed to be weighed. My interpretation of it, which is so fucking whack. The rules are written in a way like. I don't want to get here into this conversation, but like people argue a lot about like politics. People argue a lot about like religion, right? And the thing is like, well, this is how I construe the message. This is how I understand the message. Therefore, this is my view on. It happens a lot in religion, right? But when it comes to the MMA rulebook, it's written in the same fucking way, guys. It's like it's how you want to interpret things. It's not black and white. Again, it's shade of gray. It's so weird because they're like, I'll have to bring it up one day and bring it's a can of worms. Let's not get into it. But yeah, I'll bring up the rule book one day. We'll fucking read it. I'll show you guys what it says. And I remember when I read it, I was like, okay, well, that doesn't clarify much. Shit's supposed to be scored the same. Striking and grappling are supposed to be weighed evenly, but they're not. Like, they're definitely not. Think about it this way. If there was a round, right? Fighter A, fighter B, you have no fucking bias on these guys. Fighter A, fighter B, they're going at it. Nothing's really happened for a minute. Fighter A takes down fighter B, holds him down, keeps him there for 3-4 minutes. He's switching positions, a little bit of ground and pound. Like, he's clearly doing enough to maintain the position. He's winning the grappling fight, but he's not doing too much damage. They get up with 40 seconds left, 30 seconds left. Fighter B cracks him, has him fucking wobbling, chicken dance, one punch, and then the guy grapples him, takes him down, and survives the round. Like, who do you score that round to? You would score it to the guy who got up, punched the dude, and made him fucking do the chicken dance, even though he was down on strikes, down on control time, because you're going to say that was damage. We don't know how damaging that shot was. I don't know, bro. What are we talking about here? Which is a whole other can of worms because the criteria setup is totally against counter strikers. We'll talk about that, Hustle Bones. I'm down. If you guys want to fucking do that, it happens a lot in the legal system too. Exactly, man. Like shit's so fucking weird. It's nuanced and they write it like weird for a reason. So they can have, so there's loopholes. Loki, you should do a whole stream dedicated to reading and sharing opinions on the rule book. Yeah, it's a fucking disaster, Vex. It's long as fuck. But the area of how to score a fight, I think, is very interesting. I think if we get like a crazy robbery, which obviously we will at some point soon, if we get a crazy robbery, I'll do that. I'll pull up the rule book and I'll just make we'll do a stream or a video reading the rule book and how to score, like the judging handbook as well. Saying, yeah, that would be a fire stream. I'm down. I know DS would be down to do that. DS loves that kind of shit. DS prefers doing shit like that than like just your standard pig videos. Get Diaz on to disagree with everything you say. Who's Diaz? Who, brother? Who's Joe? Who are we talking about? Gon versus Volkov was crazy robbery. Yeah, that was really fucking bad. That was. I was drunk while watching that, but that was fucking brutal. That was on like a Pantoja card, wasn't it? If I remember correctly, Gon Volkov. When was that? Gon Volkov. They were the main event. What? Oh, the rematch was UFC 310. Pantoja Kaya Sakura. I remember that shit. Let's get it. That'd be awesome. What up, champ? What up, Tehran Brown in the building? Tehran Brown. Yesterday, DS called you a bad word. I didn't like that. I don't think that of you. Yeah, bro. I think his name's Diaz. Who are we talking about? Who is Diaz? I don't know this person. I don't know this guy, brother. I don't know this guy. We are all picking Go to Reno in the main event tonight, right? I am. I know I am. Sadly, only good fight we have to look forward to on UFC 326 is Holloway versus Oliveira. The rest of the card is nothing to write home about. Yeah, that's what I'm not going to say it on stream, Teron Brown. It was in a joking manner. But if you want, shit, you send me a message. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. He was joking, though. Your homie. Oh, DS. That's why I was like, what the fuck are we talking about? It's DS, like the initials. I'm sorry. I was like, what is going on? Who the fuck is Diaz? I was like, Nate? I don't got it like that. But if y'all can get Nate Diaz or fucking Nick Diaz on the show, I'm down. Yeah, it's DS. It's his initials. That's what we call him. They hear DS as Diaz. They're crazy. I was so goddamn confused. Yes, we are picking Brandon Moreno. I know some people are picking Loney Kavanaugh. I'm just saying, if Loney Kavanaugh wins this fight, guys, sadly, it's over for Bebe Asesino. It's fucking done. It's done. And Drew in the chat, yo soy Brandon Moreno, Bebe Asesino. Let's get it. Oh damn! I thought bro was a pale Mexican. No, he's not. He's not a Mexican. He's pale. That's fair. It's all good, man. I got thick skin. I'm not a sensitive little bitch. Assassin baby. I know it was all in good fun. Yeah, it was a good time. We had a good time. It was a great time. I enjoyed. Drew, back in the chat. Are we actually doing this stuff tonight, Drew? Like, are we doing this, or is it another send-off situation like last night? You let me know. Goddamn, guys. I went to sleep. I was thinking, this sounds weird, and you shouldn't be thinking of other men while you're sleeping. I was like going to sleep. I was so excited about Yuri, guys. I couldn't go to sleep. I was tossing and turning and excited because we are getting the fucking belt back. I'm coming. Let's go for that. Chasing tonight, official. There we fucking go, Drew. Shout out, Drew. Just to remind everyone, this is Vex's sixth time that he's going to remind us of this. Just to remind everyone, I picked Uros Medic in the Neal fight. I will never let this go. This will be my last sentence on my deathbed. It was a great fucking pick. Vex, I need to go back and rewatch what I said. I picked Jeff Neal, but I was like, Uros Medic can knock him the fuck out. It wasn't something that I was like, I knew it was a close fight. You know what I mean? Uros Medic could easily knock his ass out, and he did. He knocked the snot out that fucking boy. He knocked the booger out bro's nose. That was crazy. Fuck are we talking about? Uros Medic is the real deal. Now he wants to go fight in Serbia. Apparently Donald Trump just gave him a fucking like his visa, fixed that situation for him. Wait till you call Batista in round 2. I'm saying, what are we calling? We flexing our calls, guys? Is that what we're doing? We're flexing calls out here. I got the biggest flex of them all. I can flex Juliana Pena beating Amanda Nunes in the first fight. Hit a little Parlezy, Pena, and Charles Dubronx. I believe that was UFC 269. Look at it. Let's see if my memory is working the way it's supposed to. UFC 269. Oliveira Poirier, Juliana Pena beats Amanda Nunes. Stop the cap. And my boy right here, this guy, Drew, right there. We went out clubbing that night because we hit a fat little Parlezy. It was really, really goddamn fun. Loney Kavanaugh getting pieced up tonight. I think so too, man. I think he's going to look dangerous early. I think, again, as the minutes go on, the later we get into this fight, smoother sailing for Brandon Moreno. Yes. You was one of the only ones not hating my take, and I was so happy about that. And your friend you had picked on, picked Medic too. Yeah, Harry. Shout out Harry from Prochmo Bets. Picking Pena is genuinely one of the best picks of all time. I think that's AOT. Yeah, I think that's what he's trying to say. Kudos to you. Thank you, brother. That's awesome. Moreno, too crafty, too experienced. That's what it boils down to, Hustle Bones. It's just he's got too much in the bag, right? Like, what the fuck does Loney Kavanaugh present to Brandon Moreno that he hasn't seen? Brandon Moreno's boxing is fucking elite. It's elite for the sport. It's elite for the division. Like, Loney Kavanaugh is a young, fast, like powerful boxer, right? Is he going to one-shot Brandon Moreno? I don't see it. Brandon Moreno's very defensively sound. Then you talk about the ground game. Like, Brandon Moreno is better on the ground than Loney Kavanaugh. He survived Pantoja on his back. He survived Davison Figueiredo on his back. Like, Brandon Moreno, he's seen too much, man. Yes, I guess youthful energy would be the thing. That's the problem with today's society. Everyone's too sensitive and they cry about any and everything. I fucking fully agree. If Cheeto beats David Martinez today, I'm going to cry. I'd actually be happy for Cheeto, but David Martinez is a very, very legitimate prospect. Youthful energy, LOL. Teron Brown says, I got Bebe Asesino. Also, we trust in Chris Matinho. I think it would be fucking hilarious. I'm so down for Chris Matinho to win, guys. I just don't believe in him. Again, I saw him at 264. I was like, holy shit, this guy might be fucking better than we thought. But he's the UFC sacrificial lamb. They just feed him to people that they want to finish him. I literally forgot Cheeto Vera existed until right now. Such a shame, right? Because there was a while there, man, where Cheeto Vera, a little over a year ago, was that fucking guy. To me, the reason I can no longer pick Cheeto Vera, guys, is I know, like, we all know the story of Cheeto Vera, right? He's a late starter. He starts slow and he fucking builds up into fights. There was a narrative around Cheeto Vera for a long time that he was a one-trick pony, that he was a one-shot guy, right? Like, he would start slow. He would try to figure it out as the fight went on. Then he's going to land a big fucking head kick like he did on Dominic Cruz, which wasn't that late. I think that was a third rounder. Frankie Edgar, whatever. Like, he always ends up landing that one shot. And it's like, how long can that work for? Well, we saw it stop working. But the problem is, last time out against Ayman Zahabi, like, Ayman Zahabi's good. There's just no danger in Ayman Zahabi. He's not like a fucking finishing threat. In a 3-rounder, Cheeto Vera did not throw. Like, he was gun shy throughout the entire fight. He never, like, if you're not fucking letting it go on Ayman Zahabi, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I can't pick a guy like that. Like, he doesn't come out there and fight anymore. Cheeto Vera just does not fight. He just comes out there. He throws 10 strikes a fucking round, tries to avoid getting hit, and then bitches about a fucking decision. Complains that he won the fight when the judges give it to the other guy. Unfortunate. Can't fucking pick him anymore. Can't comfortably pick that guy. I like the over 1.5 in that Chris Matinho fight. He is tough. I just worry what Wellmaker did to him. Was that his last fight? Chris Matinho, was it the Malcolm Wellmaker fight? Let's see. Chris Matinho. Yeah, his last fight was Malcolm Wellmaker. It was in June of last year. I don't know. I just don't like that knockout, man. I got Bobby Green beating old boy. That's a crazy one, right? A lot of people are on the Bobby Green train this week because his opponent, Daniel Zellhuber, last time out lost to a fucking unk, right? He lost to Michael Johnson, I believe. Yeah, Michael Johnson kind of whooped his ass, not just beat him, kind of whooped his ass. And so a lot of people are saying, well, if Michael Johnson could do it, why can't Bobby Green? I just don't know, man. Bobby Green is like, the way he fights, he's so open to getting fucking cracked. And I just don't like it, man. I don't see the same Bobby Green anymore as I used to. I'm just, I think it's more me fading Bobby Green, but I can't, again, another guy I comfortably can't pick anymore. I can't pick Cheeto due to his women's MMA record, right? Fucking 23-11, basically a women's MMA record. Cheeto's extremely good at losing, to be fair. He's also good at winning. Like, he has like some crazy wins in the UFC, but they're all like, they seem fluky, right? And I don't like saying shit's fluky, but like, they seem a little fluky. I'm taking a break from betting. 3 parlays not hitting in a row. Yeah, if you bet responsibly, guys. Bet responsibly. I wouldn't mind Cheeto Vera moving up to 45, but Teron Brown, that's fine. What the fuck is better at 45? Like, what's better for him at 45? Those guys hit harder. Like Cheeto Vera versus Gene Silva, Cheeto Vera versus Yair, Cheeto Vera versus Diego Lopez. Like, those are fucking terrible matchups, man. Terrible matchups. Hustle Bones corrects us and says it's King Green now, guys. How do you like the Pico Pitbull fight? Look, I swear to God, I felt they were going to make that fight. It made sense. It's fine. It's a good fight. I think this is the UFC saying sink or swim. Like one of you guys can go fuck yourselves, and the other one can stay. I think Dana's done with this whole Bellator and PFL shit, and I think him putting these two together, because Aaron Pico versus Patricio Pitbull is this would have been a Bellator main event, like a numbered Bellator, like fucking main event on Showtime or HBO, whatever the fuck they were on. This would have been a big, big fucking deal. And he's kind of sticking it to them. He's throwing it on the prelims. I think it's a good fight. I think Patricio is going to win that fight, to be honest with you. I've never been high on Aaron Pico. You can go back and watch our breakdown for 319. I picked Lerone Murphy. I don't get the hype on Aaron Pico. I never thought Aaron Pico was a good fighter. So he was kind of surprising me in that Lerone Murphy fight, to be honest with you, when he did look good, or so I thought early on. Patricio wins that fight. I despise Gene Silva. Fuck that guy. Zellhuber getting a win tonight, 3 losses in a he's got to win tonight. 3 losses in a row is rough. Yeah, I'm picking Daniel Zellhuber. Teron Brown says he's picking Pico. He's saying Pico should use his wrestling. Oh, guys, jump on the Kaita hype train. He's top 10 material. He's easily going to run through Nathaniel Wood. That guy, I'm so fucking surprised, man. Lucene Kita or some shit. I'm so fucking surprised that the UFC re-signed that guy. They had him signed. He was supposed to fight Patricio Pitbull, missed weight, started groveling, fucking begging like a little bitch. Started begging Patricio Pitbull to take that fight after he missed weight. And like, you're younger. Patricio's like, you're younger, you're bigger, you're faster. Like, you say all these fucking things. You think you're going to knock me the fuck out. You're talking all this shit in the media. Now you're fucking groveling. Like, be a professional. Make fucking weight. I'm shocked that the UFC would re-sign a guy that never fought for them and missed weight and got a fight canceled during his debut. Like, crazy to me. Fucking crazy to me. You can tell Murphy didn't like those vicious body shots coming from Pico. Pico's a good boxer, right? Pico's a very good wrestler. He's a Golden Glove boxer. Like, he's legit. He's got everything. It's just like I've seen him fail in Bellator. And then the excuses were, well, it's early in his career. Aaron Pico, by the way, I think he lost his fucking debut, right? Like, got knocked out badly, if I remember. Let me see. Pulling him up on Tapology. It was like a fucking huge story when it happened. Yeah, Zach Freeman got knocked the fuck out got guillotined 24 seconds into his debut, his professional debut. Then he goes on to win 4 fights. The only name of note in that is Leandro Higo. Then he gets knocked out by Henry O.K. Corrales, gets knocked out by Adam Boric. So back-to-back knockouts going into 2020. Then he goes and wins 6 fights in a row against, I swear to God, nobody that's worth anything. Then he loses to Jeremy Kennedy. Then he goes on a 3-fight win streak, avenging his loss against Henry Corrales and beating Pedro Carvalho. He's beaten nobody, guys. Like, Aaron Pico has beaten nobody. He's been all fucking hype. You guys talk about Dana White privilege. This is a Bellator privilege guy. People think that AJ McKee was the guy that got all the Bellator privilege. Aaron Pico got the Bellator privilege. He never fucking fought anyone. Never fought anybody, man. Like, I don't know. Yes, Teron Brown, I agree, man. Look, he's good. He's got really good boxing. He's obviously got really good fucking wrestling. The kid's athletic. He looks the part. I just don't know, man. His strength of schedule is terrible. And I know Patricio's old, but it is what it is, man. That's my pick. I'm sticking to it. I'm hyped because David Martinez is fighting. I love that guy. Shout out David Martinez. I think he will end up being a top 5 guy at his peak in the UFC. I would love to see John Lineker back in the UFC. He's still fighting in in Asia somewhere, right? He's in 1, or last I remember he was in 1. John Lineker. I just saw him like not too long ago. He fought somebody very recently somewhere. Yeah, he fought in March of last year, they're saying, in 1. Let me see. More recently than that? Yeah, March of last year, he lost a kickboxing fight. Yeah, he's just doing his shit out there. Shout out John Lineker. Just give him a chance, bro. I believe Pico can turn things around in the UFC. Look, man, again, I hope so, Teron Brown. I'm always down for an American, man. I'm always down for that kind of guy to, like, he looks the part, man. He dresses fucking nice. He's good on the mic. He's got the credentials in terms of wrestling and the Golden Glove boxing and all that kind of shit. It's just like I was never a believer in him. So it's very difficult. I've known about Aaron Pico for years. Then he shows up to the UFC and he starts getting like the glaze from everybody. And I was like, I didn't believe in this guy before, right? Then you take a guy I did believe in, like Patchy Mix. He comes in, makes a fucking fool out of me, right? And he looks terrible in the UFC. And it's like, how can I trust a guy that in my mind, is fucking way worse than that guy, right? Like AJ McKee was the best of all those guys for a while in Bellator. I think if AJ McKee comes to the UFC right now, he gets his ass whooped. So I can't believe in Aaron Pico. And that's shitty. I know I have Bellator gloves here, and we're talking about Bellator legends. I don't see it. This, I really don't see Teron Brown. If he wins, I don't see a brutal KO. Patricio Pitbull's not getting KO'd, brother. Martinez is nice. Yeah, I always like watching Edgar Shirez. Edgar Shirez is fucking violence personified. That's the guy, bro. Like he's his record not so good. Like skillfully, he's like nothing special. The guy's down to scrap though. Like that's a Mexican scrapper. That's a fucking Mexican scrapper right there. By the way, back to Lucene Caita, or however you pronounce his name, only for a second. I'm sorry to keep bringing this up, but genuinely, he's going to go far in the UFC. Him missing weight sucked. I watch Octagon regularly. I watch him there, and he's great. I've seen him fight. Vex, he's a good fucking fighter. He's dangerous. Like, he's super, super dangerous. It's just a shitty way to start your UFC career, and we've seen Dana fuck people over for less than that. So I'm just saying, I'm surprised that they re-signed him, man. Just unprofessional to do that. Like, trust me, great human. Trust me, great fighter, great human being. I'll take your word for it. I don't know him as a human being at all. Like, I don't know that he speaks English. I haven't seen an interview of his. I just seen a couple posts where he was like talking shit, but that could be selling the fight. Either way. Nah, but he's fun. Right. Yeah. If you're talking about Edgar Shirez, super goddamn fun. I'm picking Yuri to beat Carlos. I agree. I think we, as a community, are picking Yuri to beat Carlos. I think Yuri Prohashka's, guys, he's too aggressive, right? Carlos Ulberg is like, he's city kickboxing, man. He's tippy tappy. He likes to keep his range. He likes to catch people coming in. He's a good counter striker. Yuri Prohashka is fucking violence. He's a marauder, right? People use that term all the time. He's aggressive. He comes forward. He fucks people up. It's too much for Carlos Ulberg. He's going to put something on this guy and fucking get him wobbling. And once Yuri has you wobbled, it's over, brother. He's going for the kill. I'm coming for the hunt. You know what I mean? That's what he fucking said today. I'm hunting Ulberg. So shout out Yuri, bro. The GOAT. Hot take. Too many fighters care too much about winning, not being entertaining. Too many fighters care too much about winning, not being entertaining. Yeah. I mean, that's the problem, right? That was all the discourse in MMA at the end of last year. It was Islam. It was Hamzat. It was Valentina Shevchenko. Merab was kind of like the hot story of the year, even though he was fighting very entertaining, but people still call him boring. Like it was all about like, you're fighting too goddamn safe. You guys are boring. Like, you don't want to be entertaining. You just want to win. That's shitty. And I think we do see that a lot right now, but like, what are you going to do about it? I think what needs to be done is, if you really want to change that, and the UFC and MMA in general wants to change fighters being boring, then you have to make rule changes. When it comes to the grappling, if you're not advancing position, 20 seconds and it's an automatic stand-up, or 30 seconds, like, you need to find something. Like, something needs to be done to the rules. Something needs to be done to the scoring to either prevent or discourage the fighters from doing that shit. Very unpopular opinion. He had a big apology after the weight loss on Instagram. Basically took all the blame. He begged Pitbull because he really wanted to fight, and that's understandable. Yeah, like, I don't know. Again, Vex, you put yourself in that situation as a human being, right? And again, this is what we were talking about, black and white, right? You clearly have a bias towards this guy, right? I'm a Pitbull guy. Like, Patricky's my homie. Patricio, like, he's nice, but like, he's not like my guy like that. So I'm a little biased on this side. But like, again, shade of gray. You're the young fighter. You're this dynamic, dangerous, fucking knockout threat, aggressive kid. You're getting your opportunity to come in and fight a legend, a multiple division, multiple time world champion. You're going to make your name off of Patricio Pitbull. Then you have Patricio Pitbull. Well, I'm coming off of a loss in my UFC debut. I'm old. right? But I think I still got it. I'm fighting this young, hungry kid. They're making me defend my spot against a fucking lion. And then this lion goes ahead and misses weight. And now I have him begging me to take, like, I'm not going to give him another advantage, right? So I get it from this guy's side. Please, I'm sorry. I made a fucking mistake. It happens. Like, I get that. But then on this side, you have to understand that, like, no, I'm not fucking giving you that. I'm sorry. You can call me a bitch. You can call me whatever. I'm not giving you more advantages. Go fuck yourself. That's on you. I don't care about your career. I don't care about your paycheck. I don't care about your family. I care about mine, right? Shade of gray. You just got to think about the other person's side at any time. Very unpopular opinion, I know. No, I think I agree. Like, I agree, Hustle Bones. I agree. I'm picking Yuri to beat Carlos because I think Yuri runs through his counter, eats it, and knocks him out. Yeah, hopefully. I agree with you. Yeah, he already had all the advantages. Fair enough, right? Like, you don't have to. That's the thing with MMA, man. It's not like these guys are individual contractors, right? You have to do right by the company or else they're going to fuck you over. So there is a game that you have to play. But also there's like no, I'm not going to put myself at a disadvantage. I'm not going to be a guy that just takes short notice fights against these fucking killers. Like, some people will do it and then some people will not fucking do it. Like, I don't know. It just depends on you as a person, what your mentality is, what your situation is. We talked to Dennis Bazookia, like, last week, 2 weeks ago. Dennis Bazookia is sitting here and he was like, all of his fucking fights in the UFC have been on short notice. They've all been on short notice. And the last time they contacted him for a fight, they wanted him to take it on short notice at 45, like on a week. He's like, I can't make the weight and I'm not fucking doing that. Like, I'm not going to fight up, nor am I going to fight on super short notice at 45. Like, I'm not doing it. That's the thing. You got it. It's your career, right? You have one chance at this shit in the UFC. You have one chance at this career as a fighter. You have one opportunity to make all this money, take care of yourself, take care of your family. Why would you fucking risk it? Like, especially in Patricio Pitbull's career. I have so many names on my resume. I'm a multi-time world champion, 2-division champion in Bellator, fought for a third title, guys. He was almost the first fighter in major MMA to be a 3-division world champion. Lost that fight in Chicago, by the way, I believe, to Sergio Pettis. 55-45, he was going down to 35 to do that. Like, there's no reason for you to fucking lose to some kid on the come up. Granted, he might end up being a great fighter at the end of his career. And, you know, your name would just look fine, like a loss to him in retrospect. But you don't know that. But I promise you, if the situation was flipped, right, and Patricio Pitbull was facing Volkanovski, and Volkanovski missed weight, Patricio would be like, that's fine, I'll fight. Like, I don't give a fuck that you missed weight. You know? Shade of gray, guys. Shade of gray. Fucking nuance. Learn it. This MMA community needs to fucking learn nuance. Anyways, guys, we are approaching on 15 minutes until UFC Mexico, Brandon Moreno versus Lonnie Kavanaugh. I'm excited for that main event, guys. I'm excited to see if Brandon Moreno still has it, man. That last time out was very goddamn disappointing to see Brandon Moreno go out like that, right? Like, I like Tatsuro Taira. Everyone loves Brandon Moreno. It was just sad to see him, like, actually get finished and, you know, kind of arguing about the take or kind of arguing about the finish and the judges, the referee's decision. So hopefully Brandon Moreno's recovered. Hopefully his chin's not fucking cracked. All fair arguments. Thank you, Vex. Yeah, Wonderboy took a lot of shit for not fighting Fat Boy, weight missing Michel Pereira. Right. You know what I mean? Why the fuck would you do that? Like, think about it. Name for name, like, Wonderboy's here. He's fought for titles in the UFC. Michel Pereira is just like a fun fucking guy for a while. If Wonderboy beats Michel Pereira, what the fuck does that do for Wonderboy? Nothing. It just gives him a win at that time. He goes up two ranking spots. Michel Pereira, on the other hand, beats Wonderboy. It's like, holy fuck, it means something. They got mad at Arman Sarukian for not fighting Justin Gaethje on short notice at UFC 313. When Dan Hooker fell out, Arman said that he would fight. Justin at a catchweight of 165. UFC said no. Don't blame him. I don't blame Arman Sarukian for anything that he did. Arman couldn't make 155 on short notice to fight Justin. That's why he called for a catchweight. Right. Arman Sarukian is in a situation right now where he's like a little too deep, right? What happened with Islam happened with Islam. Again, we don't know if it was an injury, if it was a weight miss, or whatever the fuck the situation was. The UFC was not happy. It's very obvious. It's very clear. The UFC was very disappointed. They were very upset at Arman Sarukian for what the fuck went down. And it looked like they were punishing Arman Sarukian, right? Ends up getting the Dan Hooker fight. He's the right guy to fight for the title. But of course, they ended up doing Patty versus Gaethje. I think the UFC booked that in hopes that Patty Pimblett won that fight so they can get Patty versus Ilya, get a British champion. Justin Gaethje ruined that, and they still aren't giving Arman a chance, right? They're still not giving Arman Tsarukyan a fight. I don't think that if Ilya's going to fight, I think it's going to be Justin Gaethje. I don't think it's going to be Arman, and rightfully so, right? At this point, Justin Gaethje has the interim belt, but Arman Tsarukyan is getting fucked on this, but he's doing what he has to do. He has to double down on it. He has to, now if I'm Arman Tsarukyan, he did such a good job hyping himself, promoting himself up, doing all these fucking podcasts on social media. He's become like the new Marab, right? He's taking the Marab approach on social media. He's doing all the right things. I think he needs to keep doing this, double down on this. Don't take a fight unless it's a fight that you know you're going to, like maybe Benoit Saint-Denis, right? Do Benoit Saint-Denis versus Arman. But at that point, it's like, I'm fighting for his next fight. If it's not for the title, he needs to go out there and like make a point of putting it all over social media, make a point of saying it in the cage after he wins. I'm fighting for the fucking title next. Like, Topuria, I want you. And it is what it is. He has to fucking just double down on it. UFC don't like anyone causing cancellations, which is fair. Yes, it's fair, but like also just kind of like, shade of gray, right? Like we've been saying, like, understand that shit happens sometimes. Sometimes people get fucking hurt. People get sick. Shit happens. Like, you can't always control it, right? We've all been sick. We've all had to fucking miss work or school or whatever it is. Sometimes you get hurt, bro. Like, I tore my Achilles. I didn't fucking plan on it, but all the shit that I had planned went to shit because I couldn't fucking do it anymore because I had a torn Achilles. So it is what it is. I heard UFC was originally looking to book Gaethje Patty back in November at Madison Square Garden last year. I heard that too, Teron Brown. And then I think they ended up just like deciding to move it to have it be like their Paramount, their Paramount debut or whatever. Arman also fucked up saying shit like, I could buy Dana White if I wanted to. Like, how the fuck you think Dana's going to react? Yeah, I don't know that Dana doesn't like that shit, obviously. You know what I mean? That's not going to fucking go well if you say that. But I don't think it's that. I think the problems were, and correct me if I'm wrong, Hustle Bones, that was like well after all the shit had started, right? Because either way, Arman's like in the fucking doghouse. But I like the fact that the fans are now starting to love Arman Tsarukyan. They've really come around on Arman Tsarukyan. They want this guy. There's like a big push for him. So if Ilya Topuria does what we expect Ilya Topuria to do, and that's knock Justin Gaethje the fuck out, I would love Ilya Arman, man. That's the fight. That's the fight we need to see at 55. People want Ilya Islam. I don't want Ilya Islam at 170. I don't think it proves anything. I think Islam wins that fight at 170. I think at 55, it's super fucking intriguing. That's where I think Ilya has a shot. And I'm not saying that because I want Islam Makhachev to lose the fight. I'm just saying I would like the fight to be on like fair terms. And I think at 55 is the fairest terms we can get for that fight. You say, yeah, it wasn't that long ago. Dana is a greedy son of a gun. It's funny. I like it. But also, of course, you don't get Dana privilege now. Yeah, I mean, he's not going to get the Dana White privilege. Like, he's already in the fucking doghouse. He's already in the doghouse. Money hungry man Dana is. That is true. All right, guys, we are closing in on 10 minutes. My throat is dry as fuck. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the fuck out of here. But tonight, UFC Mexico, Bebe Asesino, Brandon Moreno. We are going with Brandon Moreno. We are going with David Martinez. Unfortunately, we think that Chito Vera might get slimed the fuck out. And we are excited about Yuri Prohashka from the Czech Republic. Let's go for that. I'm coming. All that bullshit. Yuri's about to be the champ. I don't think Topuria has a shot at either weight class. That's a fair take, man. I get it. I would agree about Islam Ilya at 55 a year ago, but now Islam's too big. He'll never make 55 again. Yeah, I think we lost that, man. I think we lost the opportunity to get that fight. I just hope Ilya's not fucking stupid, right? I hope Ilya's not dumb and goes up to 70 just chasing this Islam Makhachev ghost, because Ilya is going to get fucked up at 170, and this would destroy his legacy, right? But again, I think if we had this fight at the right time, it was interesting. It would have been fucking dope. Unfortunate that we don't get it. Vex says, great stream, always 10-7. Don't forget me in the Discord. I got you, brother. I will send you an invite soon. And Hustlebone says, vamos, bebe asesino. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. We did about an hour and a half today. Do me a favor, like the stream if you haven't. Like and subscribe, obviously, if you haven't. It would mean a lot to us. We are still trying to get to fucking 2,000. I can't believe that we just can't cross this fucking hurdle. And then follow us on Instagram at the 107MMA. Yo, the pronunciation of Yirka was spot on. God damn. I got it like that. I told you, brother. I be speaking languages. You literally took their way of making money away from them. It's a disaster situation, Teron Brown. He's in the doghouse and he's doing the only thing. He's still being a fucking idiot. You're right. He's doing some idiotic things, but he's also doing great things by getting the fans to hype him up and love him and all that shit. I gotta go, guys. I gotta go get a tea or a coffee or something. This card is starting in 5 minutes. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Follow us on Instagram. We're gonna post. We might go live after the card. Who knows? We'll see what's up later, guys. Thank you for joining.